Hello dear students, how are you all? I hope you all are fit and fine at home. Okay, so welcome back to your computer class. Today I am going to start the third chapter of your book, and chapter name is Types of Software. In previous chapters we have already talked about computer and its parts, and we know is very well that a computer system needs hardware and software for its proper functioning. So in this chapter we will talk about what is hardware and about types of hardwares. Here I have defined hardwares and softwares. Like we know that computer system consists of hardware and software for its proper functioning. Hardware parts. Hardware are those components that we can see or we can touch. The physical and tangible components are called hardware, like input devices, output devices, CPU, hard disk, CD, DVD. Many other hardwares are there. And software represent the set of programs that govern the operation of a computer system and make the hardware run. So basically for using hardwares we need software. Without softwares we cannot use hardware, because we all knows that computer system is a machine, and being a machine it knows nothing of itself. Okay, it requires instruction for each and everything it performs. Okay, so and the user or we provide instructions through softwares, and the software controls the internal computer operations, like reading data from input devices, transmitting processed information to the output devices, checking system components that all systems are working properly or not, converting the data and instructions to the computer understandable form, because we all know that system doesn't understand our language, it understands only binary language. So this is the task of the softwares, to perform all these types of things. Okay, now come to the next point, types of software. Basically there are two types of softwares. First is system software and second is application software. So what is system software? System software refers to the program that controls internal computer operations and make the best of use hardware. It's called system software. Like the software which controls the internal computer operations, like I have told earlier, right now, operations like reading and writing of data, memory management, okay, input output device management, these all are the systems operations, and these all operations are controlled by the system software. Okay, like we can understand the use of system softwares, like we deal with the softwares on which we want to work, using which we want to complete our work. Like if you want to type a letter, so you will open MS Word. Okay, but there are numbers of programs which are working behind that MS Word. MS Word is the front end only that you are seeing or on which you are working, but behind that MS Word, that containing that MS Word inside your system, because we all need to install the software in our system, only that we can use. So is that MS Word is working properly or not? All the components of that software are installed or not? So for maintaining or managing these types of things, some softwares are required, some programs are required, and all these types of softwares are called system software. Like here I have written the name of some system software. First is operating system, second is language processor, third is utility softwares. Okay, so let's discuss about all these one by one. First is operating system. So see, before explaining about operating system, I want to show you this figure in which you can see one boss is there and she is her secretary. Boss gave the instructions to the secretary that get me done, copy, delete or type. So the secretary said okay, yes. And then the secretary is thinking that to perform copy I need to check that specified file exists or not. If yes, then check the size and check whether there is a space available in the destination disk where I have to copy that file. Is there any free space or not? If yes, then open the file, read it and load into the memory and then copy it to the destination folder. Okay, similarly he need to understand the file that she have to delete. So first she have to check is this file is really not required. After deleting, there should not be any content in the file which is useful. Okay, and for typing she need to see that is the typing software is installed in the system or not, how I can type. Okay, so all these types of things, all these types of tasks are performed by the secretary. The boss gives the instruction only, and then how to complete this work, the resources which are required for completing that work, how to manage all those resources. So this is the responsibility of the secretary. So here the role what the secretary plays, the similar role an operating system plays in our system. The computer system gives the instructions to the operating system, or this is the duty of operating system to check that how these things can make happen. Okay, so we can understand an operating system as a program which acts as an interface between the user and the hardware, because in this figure also the secretary is the link between this boss and this work, है ना? So similarly operating system works as an interface between the user and the hardware. In this diagram also you can see that these are the users and computer hardwares at the bottom layer, and operating system is between the user and the computer hardware. So it provides the interface between user and hardware. One more thing is there, application programs. Okay, although in this chapter later I will explain about application programs, but here also I am telling you the use of application softwares, because system softwares are basically for the system's use, and for fulfilling the user's requirement different kinds of application programs or application softwares are used. Like I gave you example of MS Word, so that MS Word is a kind of application software. Okay, now come to next point, language processor. Language processor is very important system software which is required. Okay, again look at this figure. 3 persons are there. He knows English language, this person knows French language, and they both want to communicate. But how? Because he will speak in English and he will not be able to understand. He will speak in French and he will not be able to understand. Then how they both will communicate? How they will exchange the information, or how they will talk? So here is the role of this third person who knows English and French, both the languages. So he will convert the English into French and he will tell to this person. He will reply in French and again he will convert that French into English so that he can understand. So similarly, the role what this person plays here, the same role the language processor plays in our system. Like, see, we all knows that a computer system understand only binary language, and binary language in the form of zeros and ones. And the user, do we write the programs in binary language? No, because we don't know the binary language. We don't know how to use binary language, but we knows programming language only, and the system knows binary language only. Then how we are communicating with the system? So there are some language processor which converts this language into binary language. Okay, so that system can understand and can process on the program. Okay, so language processor are the translator programs which are used to convert high level language into machine language. Okay, here the high level language. What is the meaning of this high level language? See, if you all remember the types of programming languages, so the languages are categorized into 4 generations: first generation, second generation, third and fourth generation. So in first or second generation, machine language and assembly languages were used for making programs, and in third generation and some other languages like Fortran, COBOL were used. But in third generation, many advanced languages came like C, C++, Java, and in fourth generation some more advanced languages come like advanced Java, .NET platform, okay, PHP. Many languages are there for making programs. So basically the languages which a user used for making programs are called high level languages. Okay, and machine language is also called the binary language which a system understands. So the first type of language processor is the assembler. So when a user write the program in assembly language, so assembler convert the assembly language into machine language. Those translators are called assemblers. Okay, second is interpreter. What are interpreters? When programs are written in any high level language or programs are written in fourth generation language, so the interpreter convert the high level language into machine language. But the compiler also, it convert the high level language into machine language. Then you need to understand the difference between interpreter and compiler. So listen well. See, the interpreter convert and execute the program line by line, means one line at a time. Suppose you have written a program and there are 10 lines or there are 20 lines in your program. So the interpreter will convert and execute the program one by one. First line, then second and third. And suppose there is an error in first line, so this interpreter will stop there and it will show you the error, that this line contains some error. It will not move on second line. It will not execute the second line. And when you will fix the problem of first line, then it will go on second line. It will execute the second line. If there is any error, so it will stop again, and again it will show you the message of error. And if there is no error, so it will go on third line. And if there is any error in third line, so again it will stop. It will show you the message. Again you will fix the error, and then it will go on fourth line, and so on. So here you can understand that the working of interpreter is very slow. Okay, because it execute or convert the program line by line. Okay, and it reports the errors at the same time when the program execute. And it don't cannot move forward. It cannot go on the next line until the error is rectified. Okay, so the processing speed of the interpreter is slower than the compiler. How? Now let's understand about compiler. Compiler is also used to convert high-level language into machine language like interpreter. But the difference is that the compiler convert or execute the whole program at a one go. Means if your program is of 20 lines, then the compiler will execute or will convert the entire program in one go. It will execute those whole 20 line at one go. So, and at the last it will show you the list of errors, that this line has some error, or line 1 or line 4 have some error, or this line have some errors. So you can fix all the errors at the same time. You do not need to wait. Okay, so the conversion process or the execution process of compiler is faster than the interpreter. Okay, so this is the difference between compiler and interpreter. So simply we can differentiate, like assembler is used to convert assembly language into machine language. Interpreter is used to convert high-level language into machine language, but it convert or execute the program line by line. Compiler is used or is also used to convert high-level language into machine language, but it execute or convert the whole program at one go, in one go. So it's all about language processors. In next class we will talk about some other system softwares. Okay, so till then revise the topics well and take care of yourself. Bye.